Hey folks, Jeff here with Mad Hatter Organics. Today we're going to do a discussion on VPD. Get into it. This video is sponsored by MARSHYDRO, innovators in the LED game. Specializing in home growing and commercial applications, MARSHYDRO has what you need. From seedling to harvest, MARSHYDRO has got you covered. Whether it be the TS600 for seedlings, SP series for veg, or the FCE series for the most intense lighting for flowering. Use discount code MADHATTER3 for 3% discount at the checkout. So, what is VPD? VPD stands for Vapor Pressure Deficit. Air is made up of many gases: nitrogen, oxygen, and other gases. One of those gases is water vapor. So the amount of water in the air is called vapor pressure. Air can only hold a certain amount of water vapor at a given temperature before it starts to condense back into a liquid water. That's how we get rain or dew in the mornings. You probably already know that VPD is an important thing to keep track of in your growing environment. But why is VPD important? VPD influences 5 key things: stomata opening, CO2 uptake, transpiration, nutrient intake at the roots, and plant stresses. So, stomata is the small little openings on the leaf surface that can open and close to allow uptake of CO2 and water from the environment, similar to our pores on our skin and our sweat. When VPD increases, the stomata cells close up. When stomata cells close up, the plant doesn't uptake CO2, and in return, the plant transpires, aka sweats, faster because of the large differences in vapor pressure between the leaf and the surrounding air. So, since the plant is transpiring more, it will increase the amount of nutrients it pulls in through its roots. Because of this, your plant will more likely get stressed out because it's uptaking too much nutrients when it doesn't need it, aka toxicities. VPD is a very powerful tool to know how to use properly. So, knowing all of this, you want to always try to keep that perfect VPD zone. Here's a little chart that I like to follow to get into the right zone 100% of the time. So with all that being said, how can you influence your grow environment and change your VPD? Temperature, increase or decrease. Humidity, also increase or decrease. Light intensity, also increase or decrease. Moving or turning up the lights or down to increase or decrease leaf surface temperature. You may have to play around with this by using things like controllers or lung rooms, or even keeping your vent open on the bottom of your tent. So, by looking at the chart, you can obviously see 3 different colors. These all represent 3 different stages of growth: seedling, veg, and flower. For seedling, you want to target a higher humidity and VPD closer to the lower end of the chart. For veg, you want to reduce the amount of humidity in the air to increase the VPD. This will also cause your stomata to open up a bit further, letting the plant uptake CO2. And flowering stage. You want to avoid having any sort of high humidity and high temps. This will massively help with issues like bud rot and white powdery mildew. I like to keep my humidity levels around 50 to 55% at this stage, with a good amount of air movement inside my tent. Temps should also be around 77 to 82 Fahrenheit. So that's kind of the basics of VPD. I'll leave a couple links down below to a couple of the charts and websites that I like to get my resources from. But with all that being said, guys, I just want to give a big shout out to MARSHYDRO for sponsoring this video and running with me for the past 6 months. Also, if you guys didn't know, I have a discount code over at autopotusa.com. Use code MADHATTER10 for 10% off your entire order there. Save yourself a few bucks and possibly even shipping. And also, my Patreon is open for anybody to come join in and possibly get some decent little perks out of a couple of the tiers there. With all that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in and watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and we'll see you on the next episode.